show you this.
Todd is great and he is always baked. Morning sun shining, we can't be late. Coffee brewing, tunes on the go. Knock knock, it's the Todd and Joe morning show. What's your name, Todd?
Yes, it is. Todd is your name. Being Tiger Woods is your game.
Dude, I was thinking about it. Like, it's been, like almost a year on two shows that I've been going back and forth with these names, and I still keep finding ones. I mean, they're, like we've talked before, there are ones that I absolutely cannot, and okay, I'll restate that. There are names that I could use that I will not use because I still, even though switched to marijuana type names, just not appropriate, in my opinion.
Yeah, let's not get canceled before we are even we're up to 111 subscribers on the YouTube page.
We're getting more. We're getting there. Last week, 2 weeks ago. Yes.
I've been leaving the where is it? This sticker. I've been leaving it a lot of different places. I've handed it out to people to leave in places. So if you're a new viewer from let's see, the Oswego College campus, what's up?
What up?
If you found it at any local gas station or possibly at the casino area, what's up? And if you found it in Todd's pants, what is up?
Yeah, my pants.
That's where we're going today, guys. We're going to call this episode Dr. Indiana Bones and the Great Cataclysm. Catacomb. That's the word I'm looking for. Dr. Indiana Bones and Todd's Great Anal Catacombs.
Don't forget, that's my dog's name.
I know, I'm naming it after your dog and you.
Yeah, and my ass? Come on.
No, not your ass. Your anal catacombs. Okay, we won't call the episode that. We'll save that name for National Pet Day. National Pet Day, we'll do that.
Terrible. So hopefully something
Yikes.
you may have noticed with this week's episode that we just kind of noticed over the past recently. That's right, over the past recently. That we were recording in a much lower quality than our cameras actually were capable of.
Yeah, so this is how ugly we really are.
Yeah, it's like that Family Guy episode where they've been watching the news and they thought fucking the news chick was super hot, and then it went to HD and she was ugly as hell. That's us. Or if you've never seen the Insane Clown Posse without their fucking face paint, much love to ICP, don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, but
great. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up and we're going to have a disc from ICP down there.
I would actually be honored.
It's going to be called Todd Anus.
Yeah, Slim Anus was the shit. So it's nothing but a bitch thing. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully it's a little prettier. Hopefully we're a little hotter to you. Yeah. But I did want to mention, which this segues into something else, that 2 weeks ago, if you didn't catch it, it was 2 Joes, 1 Todd. That's right.
Todd.
We had Joe Simons, the owner of Joe's Bud, that sexy little picture you see.
Proprietor.
Yes. He was on with us. Check that episode out. It was a fantastic episode. He joined us in our stupidness, and he also answered questions on, like, hey, how'd you become a lawyer? How'd you go with the Bud? You know, like, a lot of cool shit. He was a fun dude. Hopefully he comes back for more, but we are brought to you by
he was awesome.
Like, yeah, he's good shit, man. I like him.
But he was so much fun. I would love to like have him on a more semi-regular basis. Like he really was great. I mean, maybe we could start doing that like every couple of weeks. Well, so we've had 2 Joes, 1 Todd, part 1. Yep. And like we could start like labeling those episodes, and maybe we can find something that we only do on.
Well, they do have a lot of different events, which I think this is really cool too. This is what I also like about them, more so than, hey, you know what, they're a great dispensary. They have a wide selection of vendors product. You can find them at 56 or 4658 on Dog Boulevard. And follow them on Facebook because they also do like little commercials. I don't know if you've seen this. I know you've been kind of busy.
Yeah, I have.
But like, they're fucking hilarious. Like it's out of the norm, but it's cool and it makes you think. But the cool part too about them is they have their vendors come to the dispensary once in a while to talk to people. So you can be like, oh, you know what? I've been getting this product from, this place. And, like, oh, they're going to be there on Friday at 10. Sweet. I'm going to hit them up. Or talk to those guys about their product, or hey, I had a question about, I was nervous about, some people are nervous about like edibles because obviously a different type of THC concentrate, etc. So
Todd doesn't do edibles.
I don't do edibles. They don't really do anything for me. I'll make them. I have a partial jar of infused coconut oil in my fridge.
But I make it if you ever need more. I have like the coconut oil. I have the machine. And I have,
I do it. I do it old school and decarb the weed and all.
Well, I did too, and then she was yelling at me for making the kitchen a complete mess, and it like literally. I'll show it to you next time you come over or whatever, and like it's so much easy, and I didn't see a difference in the potency between what I was making, but yeah, like I think what we should do. So like tell them Steve Dave. Anybody who listens to the podcast or is aware of that podcast, it's Brian Quinn from the Practical Jokers, and then Walt Flanagan and Brian Johnson from Comic Book Men. Tell them Steve Dave predates Comic Book Men, predates and Practical Jokers. And like they started that podcast. Well, there's like every once in a while, like Walt isn't there, and it's just Brian and Brian. So they call those episodes to tell them Steve Dave's Space Monkey episodes. And they like specifically talk about like kind of like off topic, like kind of almost like supernatural stuff, because like Walt doesn't give a shit about it, and the other two are like into that. You know what I mean? So like they do the Space Monkey episode, Space Monkeys. Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was doing something and my headset did not do what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that so I could like do this, and then it was like, "Pew, bitch, I'm out," and I'm like, "Yo, come back." But my headphones fucking like flop around and shit, so they get all like turned sideways.
Gotcha.
It's just a pain in the dick. So like right now I can't hear you. So let me readjust, put them back on.
I thought like you missed all of that, and I was like, I don't know if I have it in me to retell all that. But...
No, I didn't. No, I missed literally like a second.
So like we can come up with like a gimmick. Like we can do the show as normal, but there should be one like particular thing. We'll come up with like a segment for the Two Joes, One Todd episodes. And so the other thing I wanted to say before, so I got this bad boy, right? It's got two different ones on there, and you hit the button. And so if it's red, so now it's the one flavor, and you hit it, and it's blue, and it's the other flavor. So it's like 2 1-gram disposables in one. The
nice
Bodega Boys brand. I'm sure they carry it at Joe's Buds.
They might. I don't. They carry a lot. So, and a lot of good strains, man. Like I said, I got to get blueberry muffins, or I got to find seeds for it and fucking grow some on my own, because that weed was the shit. It's also still, I know we've talked about this before, it's also still mind-boggling to me as a kid in the 90s growing up, not smoking weed like this, swag the mids, you get your fucking kind bud, your beasters, to be to a point where it's like, yeah, now I am smoking weed that tastes and smells like fresh baked blueberry muffins, where before it was
Right.
like, if you got some shit that smelled like citrus, you know, or whatever, you're like, yeah, an orange. But now it's like I'm getting
Now
like
it's like,
legitimate.
ooh, this smells like a banana lemon parfait mixed with blueberries and a coconut sprinkle. It's delectable. It's like those. Here, I'll use your term, yuppie. It's like wine tasting. Like, oh, I taste the grain of.
Yes.
So now we got
yes,
yuppie week. Is what you're saying?
Those grapes are grown in Northern California. Fucking douche. Anyway.
Oh, this is obviously the Seneca Valley because I taste the hint of the oak wood that is in the soil there.
Well, we got
All
a lot
right,
of good shit lined
Todd,
up.
I've been at work all week. I haven't been able to keep track of what's going on in the world. Can you hit me with some info?
TI News, where the useless news comes first.
I can't see. I don't have that many of them. What I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking of doing, and I think this is going to make my life a lot easier for when having other shit, is I'm thinking about moving some stuff on my desk, and I'm a second smaller monitor and hooking it up so I can have two monitors and put like my soundboard and shit on the other monitor. So I always have it up because I'm one of those out of sight, out of mind. So if it's not whatever, but then it's
Same.
blocking the, it's, you know. But anyway, let's
That's
talk about
pretty
a
much why I
snow.
stopped using. That's why I stopped using the one I have because I can't see it in the screen at the same time.
Yeah, but I think I have enough space if I can configure things or hang it from the wall or something. I'll figure it out. It'll make life easy. We're gonna travel to China for our first story here. Something.
How did we get there?
You know what? We're going to go
Because I don't want to get on an airplane. I personally, no fly zone for me for a little while.
No, I figured we'd take a fucking paddle boat. By the time we get there, our legs will be gigantic. You know, just sort of Family Guy or Quagmire discovers the internet or internet porn. His arms gigantic. Okay. Anywho, and this pisses me off because of what we've been dealing with lately for real. A snow village attraction in China temporarily shut down and apologized to visitors for using fake snow made from cotton and soapy water. I guess it's better than Wizard of Oz and using fucking asbestos. The Shangdu Snow Village in Sichuan province issued an apology on social media after facing online criticism from visitors who arrived to find the snow was an unconvincing mixture of cotton and soapy water. The attraction's operators said the recent unusual warm weather forced them to use fake snow. There are fucking snow machines, as we know in upstate New York when there is no snow, that can make something that is damn similar to snow, and it doesn't use cotton and fucking water. Like it's a snow machine. I'm pretty sure somebody in China could have ordered one of these. It did not achieve the result we'd anticipated. It's cotton and water. Like it's like doing laundry. Like what the fuck?
It's like getting a bunch of white t-shirts wet and throwing them over the houses. Like, hey, yeah, no, that's snow. No, I don't know why it smells like gym socks. I don't. Keep walking. Come on.
I don't know why.
Holy Christ!
Like spring rain. I don't understand why the snow is smelling like.
What detergent did they use? Because like that could have been a very nice smelling village.
Oh God, yeah. It did not achieve the result we anticipated, but it left a bad impression among tourists. The statements say, "We are sincerely sorry for not being able to exhibit a real snow scene and making visitors change their travel plans. The tourist attraction has been temporarily shut down. Officials look into other options."
So now I have a question.
Yep.
Was that the world record for the biggest amount of area used with the worst kind of fake snow?
It should have been. Unfortunately, there's only one world record I could find, which is fucking crazy. In the news,
we ran out of all of them.
It's at the end. I saved it for last. This next one's random. Authorities in California rounded up 11 donkeys found running loose in San Diego County Industrial Park. The fucking industrial park. These are some hard donkeys, man. The San Diego County Sheriff's Office said the donkeys were
Hustlers.
reported near Business Park Drive and Sycamore Avenue in Vista on Monday. Deputies called for assistance from the San Diego Humane Society. Upon arrival, our humane officers worked alongside sheriff's deputies to safely corral the donkeys into a parking lot of a vacant building, where they were later reunited with their owners. The San Diego Humane Society said in a statement to NBC San Diego, "We are relieved that these sweet donkeys are now back where they belong." Humane Society said officers plan to follow up with the owner on the ranch later this week to determine how the animals managed to escape. Well, obviously, they planned it. Duh. I mean, 11 donkeys.
Don't be an ass, Todd. Don't be an ass.
How many donkeys does it take to break out of a ranch? 11. So this next story must have thrilled a lot of people in Florida, because I feel like many people in Florida would drink this kind of shit. A truck on a Florida highway overturned while going around a curve and spilled an estimated 44,000 pounds of beer. Now wait, I'll tell you what kind of beer. The Florida Highway Patrol shared photos on social media showing hundreds of canned beer, including Budweiser and Busch Light, in the median of Interstate 75 near mile marker 236 in Ruskin. Investigators said the driver lost control while going around a curve, causing the semi to leave the roadway and up on his side on the median. He must have been having a fucking race, because you gotta be going fast. Florida Highway Patrol officials estimated 44,000 pounds of beer had been cleared from the median. And that is a mind fuck for me, because when I think of beer, I think of liquid, and generally liquid isn't measured in pounds. But obviously, since it's canned and packaged, it would be weighed that way. So it is kind of a mind fuck in my head, because I'm like, logically, beer is not weighed by pounds.
Right.
So here's the last one. It is a world record.
Thank you, Jesus.
A world record that the person actually wasn't even trying for. An Oklahoma man's family surprised him with a Guinness World Record for his collection of 8,882 different bricks. Dude's name is Clem. He's 87 years old. Was out of town when his daughter Celia and son-in-law.
87?
Yeah. His daughter Celia and son-in-law Dan Bissett gathered a group of friends to count and document each item in his Tulsa brick barn. Clem returned home and was surprised with an official certificate for the world's largest collection of bricks. "I got back into town, and it was a big surprise. I'm very happy to have the certificate," he told Guinness World Records. Clem's collection, which he has been amassing for 40 years, includes a Roman brick from AD 100, but most date from the last few hundred years.
So he was 7 years older than me when he started this.
Yes.
Like, this guy, like, this dude's on his way out. He's 87. Like, the ticks of the clock are very, very, very down to dwindling. They're dwindling at this point. And you know what? Like, in 2 generations, Clem would have been completely forgotten about by everybody who ever existed, because that's what they say. Unless you do something like of significance, you're forgotten after 2 generations. Now, 200 years from now, some kid's going to be in a kindergarten class somewhere with their little digital holographic version of the Guinness Book of World Records, and they're going to be like, "Oh, look, Clem, whatever the fuck his last name was, had the world's biggest collection of bricks in 2025. Like, this guy's going to live on somewhere, some way. It's kind of fucking that's a mind fuck right there.
Yeah. The breaking tide for making the bricks was about maybe 1870 to 1910, he said. A special kind of brick like this has a certain clay that withstands heat, and everybody needed a fireplace. He said that some of his most valuable bricks are those with misspellings, such as one that reads Tulsa with a backwards S. "I think Oklahoma has a history for the most misspelled bricks," he said. "I don't know why." Hey, what up, dog? Again. So that was
Todd News, where the useless news comes first.
bricks.
So
Fuck, man.
So I don't have this guy or AI this week, but I do have some fucked up facts.
Fucked up facts with Joe.
Let's see. Here's the first one. You were once the youngest person alive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yep.
That's kind of crazy. You at one point were the youngest person in existence. That's kind of crazy.
Even if it was for a second, it still happened.
Yeah. The Great Pyramids were older to Cleopatra than Cleopatra is to us.
They're built by fucking aliens.
Okay. Todd!
They were. I'm telling you.
There are more atoms in a single glass of water than there are glasses of water in every ocean on Earth.
That's insane.
That's like when you look into a mirror that's looking into a mirror, like infinity. Ugh.
Like that scene in Spaceballs.
Yeah. What the fuck? Everything in the universe is either a potato or not a potato.
I mean, that's true. I mean, that's fucking absolutely true. But you can say that about anything.
What?
Like everything in the universe is either a pen or not a pen.
And how about this one? All right, I'll do this one and then one more. This one too. The person closest to your right is the person farthest to your left.
Now we're just getting ridiculous, like the world records.
Okay, one more. What? Oh my god. Barack Obama has won more Grammy Awards than Katy Perry.
Did he win a
Barack,
Grammy?
he's got 2 Grammy wins in the spoken word category for his memoirs.
I didn't know that was a category.
I didn't either.
I kind of feel bad for Katy
Joe's,
Perry now.
And that's Joe's fucked up facts. I don't know if that's like up to date with this past Grammys because I think she may have won.
Yeah, it might not be.
Because she's back, baby. Katie's back. I don't know. I know you don't have your ear to the ground of popular music, Todd, but Katy Perry is back.
Oh. No. All right.
See, I love
you. What? Go ahead.
You're gonna let me what?
I'm gonna let you pick. What do you want first? Do you want Stump Joe or things you can say?
Let's do things you can say, and then we'll try to stump me.
Okay.
I got stretch.
So the past 2 weeks, if you haven't been tuning in, the hell. But regardless, I found something I used to do on an old podcast, yada, yada, yada. So it was, things you can say, basically.
He said podcast, not OnlyFans. Get your hands out of the gutter. You still have to pay for that.
Plus this too, and I wish, again, the old whoever sang this or said this, I wish I knew then what I knew now. When we did that show, which was actually a live internet radio show, it actually wasn't like a podcast. It was just, we had our own internet radio station, etc.
So much different than what we have now.
But, well, podcasts weren't a thing.
I know. That's what internet radio turned into, were podcasts.
Yeah. So it's like, part of me is like, man, if we could have just, if other people involved could have done their part and we have stuck with it, where would we be now? Because again, it wasn't everybody and their brother has a podcast now. Like
you wouldn't be here with me, Todd.
Yeah, it's possible. But you never know. Or I could have been like, hey, I found this dude on this wrestling show and I want him, not the other guy.
Oh, Garrett, how do you feel about that?
See, this is what happens when you
Give it to me. I'll take all of it. It's amazing.
So, to the list of things you can say during sex and at dinner.
Oh,
This one's
put it in my mouth.
I think that's one of them. Whoa, slow down. It's not a race. This is a very long list, but they're all hilarious, so I had to do them all. You have had worse things in your mouth. It's really lovely when the four of us can get together like this. How do you know you don't like it if you've never tried it? Stop playing with it and just eat it.
Come on.
It tastes better with whipped cream. I'm going to need a little wine to wash this down. Next time, we should invite the neighbors. Your sister does a better spread.
Okay.
It's a bit dry. You have something on your chin. Did you enjoy that, Uncle Max?
Oh no, not Uncle Max. Oh, I fucking knew he was a fucking pervert.
Yeah. It hasn't risen as much as it should have. I picked up that little trick from the internet. Now that could be numerous things to be said, to be honest with you. Your brother just showed up, so it would be rude not to make room for him. That was nice, but I still prefer Five Guys. This next one.
Oh, what a whore.
Wow,
What
that
a
was
whore.
saltier than I expected. Hope you don't mind, but my cousin Kate is going to join us tonight. This one's just kind of wrong. This is a little something my mother taught me.
Jesus Christ.
Why are you always the last one to finish? Careful, don't want you choking.
Or
I like it a little pink in the middle.
Oh.
Moist. You could seriously charge big money for that. It would be so much more enjoyable if you would put your phone down.
You need to soundboard that immediately. Moist.
Moist. Do you mind if I watch the game while you finish? If I'm to be honest, it looked better than it tasted. I apologize. I apologize. I didn't take it out in time. Is it too dry? And I'm so happy you came. And that was your things you could say during sex and at dinner. You read like an iron lung, man.
Holy shit. Fuck. Oh, that was a good one.
These lists are good. They're good. Good. Glad I found old things.
Whew. All right.
Now, are you going to be able to do Stump
Yes.
Joe right now? Okay. It's a little bit like it went more pop culture. I think next week I'm just going to do random trivia.
All right.
Just to mix it up. So there's 10 questions
hang
as
on.
always.
Hang on.
I pick things that I'm like, he might know, he might not. But there are things that I'm like, these are too easy, or things that I'm like, no, he definitely would not know that. Like, I think one of them I was looking at today was like, before Ringo Starr, who was the Beatles' first drummer. I didn't know they had a drummer before Ringo Starr.
What the fuck is his name? We did trivia like 2 weeks ago, And that was a question. It
I think it was like
escapes me
Pete
now. I think it's,
West.
yes, yep.
Right, but before that, would you have known? Like, would you have known that random? Like,
No,
I don't know.
I knew it. I answered it correctly on the thing.
Oh, well, I didn't know you were a big Beatles fan.
I'm not, but okay. So something I do when I'm bored is I go on Wikipedia and I end up going down Wikipedia like rabbit holes. And I was going down. So it started with like celebrity assassinations. Yeah, I was reading about the John Lennon one, which had me read about the history of the Beatles. And like it was like a week later that we had the trivia thing, and I had just read the thing about the Beatles, so it was like fresh in my head.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that. And I grew up with somebody, my brother, who is absolutely like knows everything about the Beatles. And I looked at it and I was like, there's a drummer for Ringo? For shame.
What you got for me?
Selena Gomez, Gigi Hadid, Cara Delevingne, and Haley Steinfeld all appeared in the music video for which song?
That would be Bad Blood by Taylor Swift.
Featuring
Kendrick.
Yes. Which historical document does Nicolas Cage's character steal in National Treasure?
Declaration of Independence.
Yes. See, this is where I also need the screen so I can ring the bell, but I can't have three things up at once, is what she said. What? Anyway, what singer famously performed with an albino Burmese python in the MTV Video Music Awards?
Katy Perry.
No. It was Britney Spears.
You said Burmese tiger, right?
Python. Albino Burmese python.
Oh, yeah, that was she had the green bikini thing on with the thing on. I know, yeah, no. I did know that. I thought you said tiger.
No, python. Samuel L. Jackson, Lupita Nyong'o or some shit, Oscar Isaac, Aaron Kellyman, and Benicio del Toro have started the MCU and what other major franchise?
Star Wars.
Yes, sir. How many Mission Impossible movies have been made?
Oh, okay, so 1, 2, and 3. 7.
Yes, with an 8th one coming out this year.
Yes. Yeah, okay, so I didn't know how I was going to answer that because I was like, I'm going to say 7 because 7 are out. Like, I didn't know where I was going to. Okay. How do you feel about Mission Impossible?
I honestly have never really seen them. Like, you got to remember, like, I'm not. I think a lot of shit with my possible like ADHD and shit, it makes it hard for me to sit through movies without falling asleep. Like legitimately. Okay. Like even at the theaters, the fucking theaters where it is like booming and you walk out with tinnitus half the time, I have found myself like falling asleep during movies. Like, so it is hard for me to like watch movies. That's why I don't like sitting to watch TV for a long period of time, because I do fall asleep. I try to keep moving. I think that's my ADHD. I have never heard bad things. I love that Tom Cruise like does the crazy ass stunts that he does, because that just is a testament to who he is as a fucking actor. And it just sucks because I'm just not I'm a comedy person. Like, I don't know, just was never like a big like action guy. Not, there's some movies, again, I'll always give credit to or whatever, but I've never been like, yeah, I want to, I've sat down and watched. I didn't watch all the fucking Marvel movies until like 2 years ago.
Right.
And when did fucking Iron Man come out? You know what I mean? Like
2008. So like with me, my hyper focus is a big thing with me. So I have a personal affinity for the Mission Impossible movies, because Mission Impossible was originally a TV show.
Mhm.
It was like a TV show like in the 70s with a reboot in like the late 80s, early 90s. And it was the reboot was actually a continuation of the original show. I remember sitting down, I think it was like probably Friday nights, watching that show with my dad. It was like one of the few like things we sat down and really watched together. So like I like was aware of the property and the concept before the movie came out a few years later. And again, it was like those were movies like I kind of watched, like especially the first two I watched with my dad. And I have probably the last two I've seen like not in like one sitting, like bits and pieces kind of here and there. Me and my youngest have this list of movies that we've been watching together. Even though that series is one that we're going to watch together. So I'll get reacquainted get to watch it like actually in order before seeing this next one. So, but like I always have loved those movies. Like Mission Impossible 3, the one with Philip Seymour Hoffman and introduced Simon Pegg into the series. To this day, I thought is such a great movie. Like that's probably my favorite of the whole series, like overall.
Simon Pegg is like in so much random shit. I mean, obviously, in my personal opinion, best Shaun of the Dead, Simon Pegg.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Hands down.
I love the Star Trek movies too.
Well, that's the thing. It goes, then there was Hot Fuzz, and then then he was in Star Trek, and then he was in that Ready Player One, and then he was in, like the Mission Impossible. So the dude is like, which is great. I love actors that can do that, like fucking Ryan Reynolds. He can do a fucking kids movie about imaginary friends, and then fucking Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right.
Like, what we're talking about. Who was it?
Simon Pegg.
Yeah. So, and Paul, fucking love Paul. Like that movie's fucking great. That stoner moment right there.
End of the World.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, he's just a very versatile actor, which is nice. Because he didn't associate himself with one style like Jim Carrey kind of did. And then when he went serious, you were like, this is weird because it's Jim Carrey being serious. But anyway, we have more questions. More questions! What singer holds the record for most Grammy nominations? Nominations, not wins, but nominations.
No, can you tell me if it's a male or a female?
It is a female.
I'll say Beyonce.
It is, who has had 88 nominations, and that includes 9 Grammys she was nominated for as a member of Destiny's Child. So by herself, 81 nominations. Or, no, I'm sorry. 79. But still, fucking impressive.
Well, and she just won her first Grammy.
Yep. For a country album, which is weird. Not weird, just not what you would think Beyonce would be winning a Grammy for.
Moving on.
2 more Grammys. Who holds the record for most Grammy Awards for Album of the Year as of February 2024?
Eminem.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Tay-Tay?
Yep. Unfortunately, that's the no category. She has won 4 times. What was the highest grossing movie of 2023 until it was dethroned by Avatar, The Way of Water? Pretty sure it was a movie you were excited about.
I'm trying to think. 2023. Had been Spider-Man.
No, sir. It was Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, yes, it was.
This one.
So how about with I had bought us our tickets to go see it, and we're talking, and then like she makes the comment that she'd never seen Top Gun, and I'm like, but we're gonna go see Top Gun Maverick, and she's like, yeah, and she like she's like one of those people that can't go back Like, and like once technology like jumps forward, can't go back and watch older movies. So like it was like she's like, oh, but it's like the 80s. So like whatever the streaming one was like whatever remastered. So it looked like a little bit like cleaner and everything. So I made her watch that and then watch the other one. So like I can't imagine that perspective of like for me, I don't remember a time in my life where I didn't know what Top Gun was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It had to wait pretty much as long as I can remember for a sequel. And then just being like boom, boom, like watching them like back to back for the first time. Like it's gonna be wild, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing too. It's, you know, I'm glad like we grew up when we did with the way movies were done, because for us to go back and watch an older movie, even if it's before our time, we still have an understanding of, yeah, well, you know what, it looks like shit, but we understand, you know, But now,
We have
like,
appreciation for it.
yeah,
And
but,
almost
you
that
know,
we're nostalgic for that time. You know what I mean?
yeah. But younger generations, because they're so used to such high quality, high def, high, you know, whatever of CGI and shit, yeah, they go back and watch, you know, original Star Wars movies. And I'm not talking remastered shit, like the straight up original Star Wars movies. And they're going to look at me like, that looks terrible. Why would that looks like shit? It's like, yeah, but you know what? Back in the late 70s, early 80s, that was fucking mind blowing. You know, but if you didn't grow up with that, you're going to look at it and be like, wow, it looks like shit. You know, it's like, well, fuck yourself.
Well, it's like we've talked about. I've been just rewatching Buffy like nonstop, and like some of like the effects, like looking back then, I remember like thinking that they were great, and now looking back now, I was like, yeesh.
Well, it's like my girlfriend loves Charmed, and I've watched some episodes with her, and I'm like, I get when this was done, but man, that looked like crap. Like, you know, but so two more for you.
All right,
come on, you got 6-2 right now. You're still doing good. Who holds the record for winning the most Oscars? Is somebody that's no longer with us?
They're no longer with us?
No. It's very fucking random. Like, and I was kind of like, this is weird. So even if you don't know it, it's something we both have learned today.
Huh. So did they pass away recently? So they passed away a while ago.
Yes. I mean, I suppose they could have won Oscars. I don't want to say recently in the past like 10 or 20 years, but I mean, probably maybe after they died. I don't know. I don't know how Oscars work sometimes.
I couldn't tell you. I don't even have a guess.
Are you ready for this? Because it's kind of fucking mind weird. Walt Disney, who won 22 Oscars.
Wow.
Crazy, right? I read that and I was like, I don't know if he would know this, but if not, it's both something we both have learned today.
Honestly, now that you say it, I did know it because when Logan was like in first grade, he had to do this whole presentation where he had to dress up like him. We had to write it on the cardboard thing, and like there's like pictures of it and everything. And I'm pretty sure that was one of the facts on there.
Hope there wasn't other facts on there.
Oh.
No, we won't go down the conspiracy hole of Walt Disney. All right, last one. You are at 6-3. Regardless of this one, you still win. What is the most watched YouTube video of all time? Also one of the most annoying songs of all time.
Oh. So it's got to be down to two of them, but I'm going to say it's that Numma Numma.
No. Baby Shark Dance.
Oh. Oh, yeah, Baby Shark. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That came out when my oldest was a kid, so that actually got played quite a bit at my house.
I was kind of wondering, but kind of figured it may have.
Yeah.
So you went 6-4 today, Joe. You still won.
Yeah, but
That's okay.
I'm still disappointed in myself. It wasn't my best showing.
Right. But it's called Stump Joe. So,
Right.
I mean,
I was at a disadvantage. I was at a disadvantage because Todd took my breath away, literally, right before.
You got to pick what one went first.
I did, but I didn't realize I was going to need an oxygen machine. And it's partly my fault because I am a little bit stoned at the time. But that was some funny shit.
That's why I like those lists. It actually reminds me of like a Who's Line thing they used to do. It was like things you could say whatever, but not about your significant other. You know, like things you could say about the airport, but not about your significant other. That type of shit. Like they used to do a thing like that. So, before we finish or even get close to finishing, if you haven't seen, I put it on my Facebook. I should put it on the fucking Todd and Joe Facebook. I don't know why I didn't. On 420, a special sneak peek of it. On 425, it comes out. It is a new-ish Cheech and Chong movementary. It's not a documentary. It's not a movie. It's like a combination of both.
Cool.
They put out a trailer, like a Red Band trailer the other day, like 2 days ago, and it looks fucking great because it is like them now, but it also like it shows them like now, Tommy and fucking Cheech like cruising down the road in fucking car, and Chong saying something about like, yeah, we're in the middle of fucking nowhere, and she's like, nah, man. He's like, we're just northwest of fucking nowhere. He was like, we'll be there soon. Like that type of shit. But it's like them talking, but it's old clips. It's like how they got together, what happened when they broke up, you know, like that type of shit. But it's also like them doing stuff. So yeah, it looks fucking awesome. So I mean, if you haven't watched it, you gotta go watch it. I'll have to share it on ours. Obviously,
well,
this is
I'm
2
gonna
weeks
go
in
watch
the future.
it as soon as we get done with the show.
Yes.
Or as soon as we get done recording, I'll just pull it up here and we can watch it too.
Yes, it's fucking great, man. Other than that, and
that was a penis.
Give it to me. I'll take all of it. It's amazing.
Just had to throw this in there sometimes. Now, let me do some drugs, and we'll get some Carlin Quotes.
Yeah.
Remember, if you need some good weed, Joe's Buds on Naga Boulevard. Carlin's Quotes. Rights aren't rights if someone can. Rights aren't really rights if someone can take them away. America has no now. We're reluctant to acknowledge the present. It's too embarrassing. Instead, we reach into the past. Our culture is composed of sequels, reruns, remakes, revivals, reissues, re-releases, recreations, reenactments, adaptations, anniversaries, memorabilia, oldies radios, and nostalgia record collections. World War II has been refought so many times, the German and Japanese are now drawing residuals. This just in, the weather forecast for tonight, dark. My motto, fuck hope. Life gets really simple once you cut out all the bullshit they teach you in school. And it's called the American Dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
That's a good one.
Todd.
But yeah. So again, hoping the quality of this is now better. Looks a little sharper.
Hopefully.
Couldn't even see my shit in the background before. We have cool nerd shit behind us, and you couldn't even fucking see it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Hulk Hogan standing over Joe's head, like ready to just fucking get him.
Wolverine on the other side.
Yeah. painting.
Ghostbusters are looking on.
Yeah, I mean, and you couldn't even see it. I got fucking Vader hanging out with Ecto-1 and shit. Like,
Yeah.
you also fuck the snow. I hate the snow.
Seriously. All right, so Wrestle Fandom should be on Tuesday of whatever week this episode comes out. Look out for some Wrestle Fandom After Dark, and we'll be dropping stuff. A lot of reels. There's a TikTok, Spotify, all that fun stuff. Like, share. Todd, tell them what you love.
Love you.
Yeah.
Penis. Bye, nerd.